Hey, 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 Michelle is back talking and running my mouth, sharing things about myself and just sharing things about how I'm discovering and um, understanding things about the progress of my life and how I'm developing myself. Developing yourself is an ongoing, forever process. It doesn't ever stop, and I'll probably get into other things in that realm at some other time. But yeah, so I'm just sitting here thinking, about things because I'm doing a lot of reading. Like I said, catch up on all these books I got. I got books all over the table here, and I'm enjoying it. It's like I said, it's opening me up to things about experiences I had growing up, and how I developed as I have, and areas as to where I need to improve. Because I can remember growing up, not like I said, not recognizing I'm a visual type of person. I always watched very carefully what people were doing, right, to try to understand them, really, because unfortunately there was a lot of pathological lying going on as well throughout my family. Um, Whereas, people, you just never know if anybody was telling you the truth or not. And that is fact. I mean, it was so much exaggeration. There was so much stuff being said, and and so it was just really difficult for me to understand sometimes whether someone was telling me the truth or not. And at first, I used to take everything at face value, but then I really had to start researching and researching and researching. And I can remember as a young girl um, going because we have big families, on both sides. My mom and dad side, big families, a lot of cousins, a lot of uncles and aunties, and blah blah blah. It's just a big family of people. And you know, um, I can remember people telling, doing everything in their power to tell me how I'm supposed to act and how I'm supposed to be. And they were all very religious and, and faithfully go to church, faithfully forced me to go to church. I didn't like going to church. I'm just being honest. And forcing me to go to revival, which would usually be a whole week of church. So we had a lot of religious influence in the family. And, like I said, for me, it was just so confusing because I would hear, I would be looking at people and hear them speak, hear them telling me stuff, and then when the sun go down, honey, wow, it was like a completely different people when the sun went down, or when certain elders were asleep, or not around. You started seeing a little bit more of a different type of personalities of people, and I mean, hey, that's what it was. People were act so much differently during the day or when they were in, when they had to be in certain places. But at nighttime, whoo, that's when. And I enjoyed the nighttime personalities. Okay, let's just be honest, because it was more fun. Everybody was a little bit more casual and not so uptight and scared that somebody's gonna, you know, strike them by lightning and this and that and the other. Because that's the kind of stuff we grew up hearing and being told. And I can remember I used to ask a lot of questions because visually I had to make sense of what my environment was telling me. And so I can remember asking questions of my elders, my older relatives, I should say. And they used to say, "That ain't none of you. That's none of your business. That's none of your business." Everything was none of my business. And I remember one time, one of my relatives told my mom. She said, blah. I ain't gonna tell you what they call me, but they said, I'll just say, Michelle. They said Michelle has so many questions and blah blah blah. She says, and I remember one of the relatives said, you need to keep an eye on her because she asks too many questions. And then my mom used to always say, well, she'll grow out of it. She'll grow out of it. So She didn't discourage it, you know. So I think that's why I have such a strong discernment. I do have a strong discernment of people in my physical presence. Okay, let's put it that way. Now, do I necessarily respond accordingly? Not always. It all depends on the situation. Um, but face to face, I can usually discern people pretty well. But at the same time, I do give people time to, because we all have personas, and sometimes we are superficial, and sometimes we're just not presenting ourselves completely to people in the beginning, and that's understandable, quite understandable. I don't have an issue with that. But I'm just saying, on the technology side, forget about it. I fail every time because I'm not up on this computers. I'm not up on texting. I'm not up on the social media platforms. But I decided to get on them all and see if I can kind of navigate myself through all of that to understand the culture of the social media. I do not understand the culture, and I remember somebody said that to me too, a while ago. Like, that is not how social media culture works. Oh, okay. So, and I and the thing is, what we don't understand is, nobody understands technology and the social media culture, because if that were the case, we wouldn't have the problems we're having outside of that. Okay, there is a cause and effect because of what's happening on social media and how it's affecting us physically. Okay, because we don't spend enough physical time close to people. We spend all our time talking to them on computers or texting them. That there's something lost there, and let's be real honest about that. Nobody's going to be honest about that and say that there's a loss between interpersonal relationships and a loss between genuine intimacy. And genuine intimacy is what I am seeking. That's what I seek. I want some genuine intimacy, physically, face to face with someone. Okay, I don't want to do it computers. I don't want to do it text. I don't want to know how it's done via the technology. I really don't. I want a face to face intimacy. Okay, and that's what I want. So, but that's part of developing, and it's going to be an ongoing process. Thankfully, I'm good. I'm happy. I'm enthusiastic. I'm magnificent with everything going on, with the positive and the negative, with the cause and effect. I do everything I can to enjoy the moments as best I can, and just kind of just always be real with myself. Always be real and know that it is difficult. So anybody that's coming out here trying to give you relationship advice and all this and that and the other, you just need to really, trust your gut, trust your instinct, and try to capture back those warning signs of predatory behavior, sociopaths, psychopaths, narcissistic people. Do everything in your power to help to bring back those natural discernments, to pick those people out so you can get them out of your life and not be bothered with them, because that's what most people are dealing with. They won't tell you that, but if you talk to them and be real genuinely engaged in their conversation to you, they'll tell you that they're having some issues. But yet they'll get on social media and everybody's smiling and holding hands and kissing each other and hugging and smiling. Everything's fantastic, but so, and that's reality that people, because that's what we're told. We're always told to put on a good front and a smile, because that's what was said to me growing up too. That used to irritate me. Men will say to me, these older men too, because I was always harassed by older men, you need to be smiling, and just trying to tell me how I'm supposed to be acting. Now, these are grown men, strangers, talking to a young teenager and saying those kind of things to me. I didn't tolerate it, by the way, but, I'll get into that another time. But those are, so we have so much work to do. And it's not going to be resolved overnight. I know that. But at least get the conversation going. Get the conversation going, and let's let's decide to be together more so physically in each other's physical face than to do the social media thing. I know that's I mean, it's possible. I know it is possible. It is possible. That's how I think. So, as I said, genuine face to face intimacy. Okay, that's what I will have. And, it might be you. Who knows? Just joking. Just having fun. And also have fun. Don't be so serious. Have fun. And let's, evolve, develop together. Peace and love.